Hey, it's Kate here from Face Paint School, and I'm going to answer a very common question for volunteers who are starting or preparing maybe for a school fete or a fundraiser or a fair, something like that. And I get a lot of these questions, people contacting me, and they're asking, where do I start? What do I do? What kit do I need? And how many faces will it paint? So I thought I'd put together this little video to walk you through the process of preparing for a fete, fundraiser or fair, something like that. So let's start with the goal. And the goal, if you're doing this to raise money, is to raise money for your charity, your P&C, whatever it is that you're volunteering for. And with that in mind, let's quickly do an overview of my professional tips, my pro tips. I've been face painting for over 11 years. I just want to help you narrow down the options and then walk you through the process. So first of all, as a beginner, and if you're going to go in the deep end and paint at a fete or fair, I want you to think about keeping the designs limited, a limited range of designs. And that means a menu, setting up some sort of printed menu that you can show the kids and keep them simple too. So simple designs and a limited number. And that will help you paint faster, make more money, and take the stress out of you as well. So that's the first part. The other thing I want you to do is use proper face paints. Don't use the cheap stuff that you get from the craft store, the poster paint. That's really bad and not very good for kids' skin. Poster paint, do not recommend. Our quality face paints we sell at facepaintshopaustralia.com. What you need to use, because these are designed for skin, they're skin safe, non-toxic, all the things that you need to have peace of mind that you're not going to give some kid some itchy bash. So yeah, start with the professional quality paints and brushes and you will get the best results. The other thing I want you to remember is to practice first. Don't just go in there expecting to jump in on the day and have never done it before and just paint away. You can do that, sure, if you want to live on the edge, but you're probably going to paint quite slowly. And if you paint slowly, you're not going to make very much money on the day for your fundraiser. So that's why I say that. The other thing is, if you've got lots of kids coming, work in a team, get some people around you. You want 2, 3, 4 painters going at the same time, and that will help you make the line move a lot quicker. And also have someone to manage the line for you. And the last thing is, don't undercut yourself. Don't charge too little, or you're not going to make very much on the day for your fundraiser, and all your effort will probably be not for very much at all. Having said all that, let's move on to the next part. And I want to start with the numbers, the math. So there's a few questions we're going to start ask ourselves. Is how many kids are you hoping to face paint? How many kids are you expecting on the day? How many hours is the event going to be for? The next question is, how many kids can a person paint in an hour? That's something to keep in mind, because that is a limitation. And how many people are going to be painting? How many people are going to be face painting? So the first question, how many kids are you hoping to face paint? I'm going to keep the numbers even here because you can multiply these out. So maybe you're expecting 100 people to face paint, kids coming along on the day, and you want to paint that number of kids. And so the next question is, how many hours is the event? Let's say it's 5 hours. It goes from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., for example. It might go to 8 to 1. I don't know. But this is the ballpark figures. Nice, easy numbers for us to multiply in a minute. The next question is, how many kids can one face painter paint in an hour? How many do you think that is? Think that number in your mind and let's have a look at what that could be. 25. Do you think it's 25? Well, I've been painting for 11 years and I can paint, if I'm going really fast and it's really crazy and I keep the design simple, 25 kids an hour. But it's not really that much fun. I think that a beginner has no hope of doing that. Even if it's a production line, look, maybe someone will prove me different and tell me they can do that. They can do 50 kids an hour. I don't think so. I think beginners are more likely to aim for about 10 kids an hour. So 10 kids an hour as a beginner or a volunteer, even with simple, fun, fast designs. If you're going to make those designs more complicated, it's going to take longer. So let's say we've got 5 hours. We want to paint 100 kids and we can do 10 kids an hour. So that's going to equal 50 kids in a day for each face painter. All right, ready? We can see that we're going to need 2 face painters if we're going to do 100 kids in one day. If you expect 200 kids, you're going to need 4 face painters, and 400 kids, you're going to need 8. That's just a ballpark figure. I'm not saying it's exact science, but it's a starting point for you to keep in mind. What I would also recommend is having an extra person or rotating a person that someone is going to help manage the line. They're going to keep people in order. They're going to help take the money and give change and manage the float. By the way, I recommend the float is around $150 in cash. You may also like to take a Square reader to take payments or some other system of digital payments. But if you're taking cash, a float of 150 with lower denominations, $5, $10, whatever, that should help, at $20. And that extra person is going to help direct the traffic as well. So if you've got a team of face painters, volunteers, all painting together, next one is available, the next one in line goes there and there, and everything will go a lot smoother if you have this extra person on hand. The next big question is, how much should you charge? I know it's tempting to charge a gold coin donation, but you're going to undercut yourself. So my recommendation is $5. Flat rate. I think if people are attending, families are attending a school fete or fundraiser, they're there to not only enjoy the activities, but to help you raise funds. And $5 is quite a common rate to charge for what we call pay per face painting. So $5 flat rate. And we'll go back to some more maths. $5 times 100 is $500. So one person, or two people on the day could make $500 over 5 hours. That's if they stick to the simple designs and follow this process through. So simple designs, what I mean by that is they take less than 5 minutes to paint. Remember, a beginner face painter may paint 10 kids an hour. 10 times 5 minutes is 50 minutes of painting. And then you've got a little bit of time for kids to get in and out of the chair and all that as well. So the next question you may have is, what do I paint? Well, this is my suggestion, and this is where a great place to start and keep it minimal. And all these designs here can be done with the one-stroke technique. That's using a rainbow cake or a range of what we call rainbow cake or one-stroke cakes, which come in a variety of things. I'll get to that in a minute. But here's my 6 things that I reckon that you could start with. And by all means, if you want to expand them out, go for it. But just know these are quick, fast and simple designs that you can execute and even a beginner can do. So we've got a rainbow, a butterfly, a tiara or a crown, and that can be done in all sorts of different colors, by the way. I'll get to that shortly. Maybe a shark, a snake or a spider. Now, I don't limit these to boy or girl designs because sometimes girls like snakes and spiders, sometimes boys like rainbows, and that's okay. So these are 6 designs that I would recommend you start with. I would also recommend that you have a printed menu. Then that has a word list and also with some icon images, some cartoon type images, and you put them on a poster or a laminate sheet. The reason why I say you have a list with little images, icon, cartoon, is that allows all the painters to have different skill levels and sets the expectations or avoids kids having expectations that they see a photo and they think they're going to get exactly like that photo. And I'm sorry, but face painting isn't like that, especially when you're a beginner. So a printed menu with a word list will get you on your way. The other thing is, I think I mentioned earlier, you want to keep to that list. You don't want to take special requests. They will slow you down like 3, 4, 5 times slower than painting something you've already practiced. But I know sometimes it's hard to say no. So for special requests, you can offer to do those for $10. And that way, at least you're making that money in that time, because time is money. And if you're fundraising for a charity or your P&C, you want to make that. P&C means Parents and Citizens, if you didn't know. I don't know, maybe that's a New South Wales thing. I don't know if it's elsewhere. Anyway, $10 for special requests, $5 for anything on the menu. And that might help the parents steer the kids in the direction of the $5 as well. The next tip I have for you is to practice first. You want to learn how these paints and brushes work. They're not like normal paints, a little bit like watercolors. They are water activated, but you want to get the experience at home, practicing on your own kids or your friends first, or yourself or your partner. Practice first, and that way you'll get that muscle memory and you'll paint a lot quicker on the day. So that's my next recommendation. But what about your workstation? Don't forget you're going to need shelter. You don't want to be sitting in the sun or the rain or the wind. So if you don't have a tent, make sure something's supplied for you, or at least some sort of adequate shelter from all the elements. You're going to need a table, and I recommend you either have a kid in a high chair and you stand, or maybe two chairs face to face, or you can sit on a chair and the child can stand. Just know that you'll have greater control if the child is in a high chair and you are standing to paint. That's just my way of doing things, and that's what I recommend. Of course, you're also going to need those face paints and brushes. You're going to need a cup of water, a water bottle, that's for refilling your water, and a bucket for your wastewater, because you want to change that water frequently. I know this is a lot to take in. I do have an online crash course for beginners. It covers all this, but just in case you didn't want to do that, you can buy that, by the way, through facepaintshopaustralia.com. In case you didn't want to do that, these are just the rough guidelines to get you started. The next question I get is, which kit do I need and how many faces is that going to paint? Well, I put together this kit. It's a really simple one, and it just involves this large flat brush, a round brush. It's a medium size. It could be a size 3 or size 5, either one of those. And this set of face paints, and they're all one stroke colors. And as you can see here, I've highlighted snake, shark, all the things you could do with these particular color set. And next, I'm going to show you each individual one. So let's take the tiara crown, for example. You'll be using this flat brush along with any of these colors. In fact, you can use almost any of these rainbow cakes for these designs. I do cover this in my course, so that's something that you might like to take a look at. And that's really simple. I can do this in about 2 minutes, and if you keep it simple, I think you can too. And plus the kids love it. It looks amazing, and I believe it's worth $5. I think the kids and the parents believe it's worth $5. So definitely this is one you should add to your list for the day. The next one is a snake. So you can do rainbow snakes, you can do green snakes, red belly, black snakes, brown snakes. You choose the color combination. Again, you're using this flat brush and sorry, my dog in the background, and any of these colors you really like. I mean, let the kid choose which color snake they want. You can be pink, I don't care. It's up to the kids, right? The next thing you can paint on this very quick fundraiser is a shark. Now, there's a few ways to do this. You can paint it on the side of the face, around the eye, or on the arm. A few options there. Again, you're using these brushes here. Another option is the spider. You can do a redback spider doing the body. I cover this in my course. I show you how to paint this in our crash course for beginners online. So if you want to do that, don't forget, reach out to me and I can give you a link to that. It does come free with this kit, but we also sell it separately. Now the rainbow. Now you could just do this rainbow here, just a swish, or a rainbow across the forehead. Otherwise, if you want to add those petals, these flowers, you'll need a petal brush or a floral brush. So we sell those separately as an add-on. So that's something you might like to do. Otherwise, just the rainbow. It's very simple. Next and finally, we have our butterflies. You can do butterflies on the arm or dragonflies. I think these are dragonflies up here on the top left. Rainbow butterflies, a different variety. You can use any of these colors, this flat brush and this round brush, to do any of these designs you see here. And if you add extra glitter, that's something you can add to the designs as well for extra sparkle and pizzazz. Not necessary, but does add extra fun for the kids. Finally, well, not finally, but here we are at sharing. Now, I think a lot of volunteers who are fundraising attempted to share paints and brushes, but I'm going to tell you right now that is going to slow you down and limit the amount of money you can earn on the day. So I recommend having a small kit or a palette for each face painter, and because you don't want to reduce what you're earning on the day, and the profit margin is actually pretty good when you consider you might be paying $80 to $100 for the kit and earning $500 from that particular set. So you're going to make a profit, and you'll have a lot of paint left over too for next time. What are some of the extras? Well, you can use face paint stencils. You can get a set of glitter tattoos, and you can offer those as a secondary thing. Again, $5 each for those. It's a great way to make money. You can get glitter gels, or you can put glitter in the hair. Oh, you can get some hairspray, some coloured hairspray, and do rainbow hair or coloured hair. So there's all extra things you can add on for a few extra dollars. And you don't need to limit it to face painting. They all go hand in hand. It just depends how many hands you've got on the day and how capable you are of doing it. So that's my my rundown of how to prepare for a face paint fundraiser event. And I hope you find it helpful. My name is Kate. I'm from facepaintshopaustralia.com and Face Paint School. Don't forget, if you want to learn all these designs, we've got a course, online crash course for beginners. It's available at our shop, or free as a bonus with our kits. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next video. Bye-bye.